One of the great home run hitters of our time is Tom Roberts. He never hit 10 in an all-star game, but they were going out of the park last night.
No, my home runs were all inside the park. Fast but not strong.
I got you. Big weekend over in Childersburg this past weekend.
Absolutely. We were overrun by visitors for a couple of big events. The big softball tournament, 29 teams in town, and the weather didn't exactly cooperate, but the citizens of Childersburg sure did, stepped up, made sure the fields were playable. A lot of work, a lot of community involvement coming together. The business community did well. Those businesses stepped up to help be a part of the process, like restaurants donating food for the hospitality room and things like that. But restaurants, even ones that aren't traditionally open on Saturdays, were overrun with customers. So a lot of
That's
things.
a good thing.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of happy visitors that had a lot of complimentary things to say about the city of Childersburg. And that overshadowed a little bit a lot of beautiful visitors and their families for the Miss Childersburg, Miss Coosa Valley Outstanding Teen, and Miss Childersburg Outstanding Team. And it was a tough choice for those things, but these four ladies really, really stood out in a crowded field of standouts. I can't say that any of the 16 young ladies involved didn't deserve to win. So that's a compliment to those young ladies, and we'll have some of them join us here as time goes by. They're all students that are busy taking care of things, but I'm working on getting on their schedule.
So if you put together 29 teams, I don't know how many girls are on each roster, but
14,
you got their parents,
15, parents, grandparents, their fans.
Then you got the pageant in Childersburg with a different group of people.
Wow, there was just a lot of folks and a lot of busy folks helping out and being a part of the process. And all in all, it was a very good weekend for a little showing off. And
it has to take a concerted effort by a lot of people to make it happen.
A lot of people, and that's one of the things that Childersburg is becoming known for, is even people that don't necessarily like each other stepping up and working together. Last year's Christmas tree lighting and decorating of downtown and all those types of things, along with things like this, just have to give you a good feeling that people are working together.
The summer growing season is full bore right now, and a big day Monday in Childersburg.
Absolutely. We got shortened a little bit by rain this last week. Had a couple of big storms come through that shortened it up a little bit, but all in all, a lot of good vegetables being grown, a lot of good vegetables being eaten, and really picking up on the voucher program where folks can go through the extension service and get food vouchers to get the food into the hands of those who really need it. We're working on the second half of the season to have some community-based vouchers strictly for Childersburg that'll be distributed through a couple of food banks in Childersburg. So that's the important part to me. Supporting our growers and grower vendors, as well as making sure that those less fortunate get their hands on the vegetables because they really need it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the beehive activity continues on Highway 282.
Well, traffic-wise, it's obviously going to get a lot worse before it gets a lot better. And I would suggest for local folks to start planning out your strategy to get off and on Highway 280 early before all the changes are made. They're going to take the traffic that's heading back towards Sylacauga and move all of the traffic off the highway as it sits now going over the bridge onto the new portion when it's completed. And that's going to cut off.
Will that be a 2-lane then?
No, it'll be 4.
Okay.
But there'll always be 4 lanes, but it's going to be tight through there. And that's going to cut off access to the Fayetteville-Childersburg Highway as well as 76 and 1st Street. There are going to have to be some changes of routes and using Plant Road and the roads that connect Plant Road and Highway 76, and it's not going to be a pretty thing, but it is part of the progress. In the meantime, new businesses are working on facilities downtown and on Highway 280. Got another new business that's opening up on Highway 280, and it's just an exciting time to be a part of the community there.
In your thoughts, how is the city of Childersburg kind of planning strategy to help alleviate some of that traffic on 280 come football season?
Well, I had a good conversation with Police Chief Rick McClellan, and there's not much we can do about people who are passing through, other than the fact that one of the good things about the situation is there won't be a traffic light to slow things down. So those folks going through will be able to pass through unfettered as it is. The problem is going to be locals, and locals know the back roads, the ins and outs, and we're going to have to plan out our strategy of how to, every day I have to go to work using 280 and the inner roads in downtown Childersburg, and I'm already working on my strategy of how I'm going to deal with that and still be safe at the same time. A lot of folks complain about people going too fast through there already, but the reality is that the police and the state troopers are doing a marvelous job of helping slow down that traffic.
You get a few of them traffic tickets, that'll slow you down.
Those things are they're strong, $500-600 bucks for speeding and other infractions inside the work zone. So they've given out an astronomical number of tickets through there. They're working hard, but just don't be a part of the problem. Be a part of the solution. And
finally, what have we got coming up the last week or so in July and on into August? The schools get ready to start.
Well, one of the big things to me that has as much impact as anything is something that's actually born in Coosa County, but will spread all the way through South Talladega County. It's the End Addiction Talladega County Rally and Walk at Noble Park on the 28th. That's something that's very important because we all see the criminal effects of people being addicted to drugs and alcohol. And there are things that we as a society can do. But the groups down at Farm Ministry have come forth with an idea that'll be an awful lot of fun, a lot of family fun activities, and that will help bring the community together, but also a learning opportunity to find out what we as individuals and as groups and as churches can do to help alleviate the problems of addiction. And who better to listen to than some of the folks who've been there, done that. And that's what Farm Ministries is all about, turning lives around away from the negative and more toward the positive, and using their experiences to educate people in what we can do to help alleviate some of the problems that go along with it.
President of the Greater Coosa Valley Chamber of Commerce, Tom Roberts, our guest this morning. Tom, always a pleasure, sir. Thanks for coming. We'll see you next week.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, more Daybreak. Randy Jinks will join me right after this timeout.